What's the secret behind some students who study just a day before the exam or just a few days earlier and still score really well in the exams? But on the other hand, there are also students who study the entire year yet still don't score well in exams. So are those students who score well with less studying geniuses? Or do they know some techniques that help them retain all the information in just one go? Today, we're going to share those exact techniques. Because do you also struggle to remember what you studied from your syllabus? You study for many days and hours before the exam, but the moment you see the exam paper, everything you studied just vanishes. Many students face this issue. They study but are unable to retain it, which leads to even more frustration. First of all, let us tell you that this problem doesn't mean that your brain is weak. You just need to improve your study approach. So first, you need to do this. Number 1. Master exams with the 80-20 rule. Focus on what truly matters even if you study less. Study smart. Vilfredo Pareto's 80-20 rule is actually a method to boost productivity, and you can use it effectively for studying as well. With just 20% effort, you can achieve 80% results. Even our own 20% videos give us over 80% views. This principle applies everywhere. Even people wear 20% of their clothes 80% of the time. And this pattern applies to your studies too. If you focus on just 20% of the important topics from your syllabus, you can easily score 80% marks. Instead of trying to cover the entire syllabus, give priority to the most important topics. When exams are near and time is limited, identify that 20% portion of your syllabus. For example, there's always one theorem that's sure to come in exams. Learn and understand it by heart. To make this approach even more effective, divide your syllabus into smaller parts. When the human brain receives too much information at once, it becomes difficult to remember anything. Just like how phone numbers are divided into 3 or 4 digits to make them easier to remember, similarly, divide your syllabus chapters into parts and focus on the top 20% important topics. Set daily goals like, today, I'll study and memorize this topic. With this method, you'll be able to understand and retain important information better. Number 2. Visualize. Engage and retain, the key to smart studying. To study effectively, you need some smart strategies, like visualization. The human brain remembers visuals and real-life images better than plain text. For example, in middle school, English and Hindi chapters had pictures along with the stories, so those stories stayed in your memory better. To simplify your learning, use flowcharts and diagrams. If a topic feels difficult, try to understand it as a story. That way, the topic will automatically stick in your mind. Another smart strategy is using color-coded notes, which enhance visual memory and help organize information better. For example, use red notes for the most important 20% topics, green for best examples, and yellow for extra insights. Visually separate your topics using different color sticky notes. This makes understanding things much easier. The third strategy is multiple senses. Think of Diwali firecrackers. You probably remember the loud sound, the colorful sky, and the sparkles. You remember all this because the experience involved multiple senses: visuals, sound, and smell. According to a research study, using multiple senses strengthens long-term memory. When studying involves pictures, sounds, and physical writing, then during revision, just hearing the topic's name can trigger full recall because your hands, eyes, and brain all get activated together, and memory retention increases. Include visualization, color-coded notes, and multisensory learning in your study routine. Start smart studying and gain good marks effortlessly. Number 3. Link it to learn it. Unlock better memory with associations. During exams, every topic you study can be divided into 2 categories. First, new information that you're learning for the first time. Second, existing knowledge. According to a 1972 study, if you associate new concepts with existing knowledge, your memory improves significantly. For example, in Class 10, To understand the parts of a right triangle in trigonometry, base, perpendicular, hypotenuse, we use the phrase Pandit Badri Prasad Har Har Bole. You might still remember it. Similarly, when studying political science, link new social rules with ones you already know. When you connect new topics with familiar ideas, your brain forms a mental network, making it easier to recall during exams. Additionally, to improve memory even more, you can connect your academic concepts with real life. For example, in biology, when learning about photosynthesis, imagine a plant in your school garden. Experiments and real-life examples bring theory into reality, and that's what stays with you forever. So, for exam prep, associate new information with familiar ideas and connect your studies with the real world. Number 4. Daily habits for study success. Routine and repeats. Being organized is a very important step. If you don't have a proper structure or routine, no matter how hard you work, the results won't be effective. That's why it's important to make a timetable. To make a proper timetable, list all your daily tasks. Then, note down all the unnecessary tasks like playing games, watching TV, and browsing movies. Also, note down your school, college, and tuition timings. Now use the time wasted on unnecessary activities for studying. Just as an example, we'll show you a student's sample timetable which you can customize as per your needs. This way, you can organize your free time properly. Similarly, you can create a weekly plan where you try to complete the most important 20% of your syllabus for a particular subject. This way, you can study daily, revise weekly, and you won't feel bored either. Now that your routine is set, include a small,